Good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're listening to this. So, today I am going to be discussing citizenship and how long you need to wait before you can apply to become a US citizen. So, in the majority of cases, you have to wait 5 years. I myself obtained a green card. Basically piggybacked on my wife. She was sponsored for a green card by her employer. We had to wait a full 5 years before we could become citizens. However, there is an exception for somebody that has been married to a US citizen for 3 years and who has also been living in a marital union for 3 years. This also includes same sex marriages. What that means is if there's a divorce or a separation, even if it's an informal separation, that tends to point to an end to the marital union, in which case that 3 year rule would not apply. One important point to note is that there's no requirement for the marriage to be the basis for the legal permanent resident status. In other words, you don't need to obtain the green card through marriage for the 3 year rule to apply. So this would apply to somebody that obtained a green card through employment who is either married to a US citizen at the time or later marries a US citizen. In that case, the 3 year rule would apply. So no need to wait the full 5 years. The basic requirements for citizenship, you have to be a legal permanent resident, in other words, a green card holder, the exception being for those in the military. You have to be 18 years of age. You have to have resided in the state for at least 3 months. So if you move states, you need to wait 3 months before submitting the N400. Otherwise, USCIS is likely to deny the application. There's also a continuous resident requirement, which means you must have continuously resided in the US for either 5 or 3 years. And then there's a physical presence requirement, which means that you must have physically been present for at least half of that time. So if you're applying on the basis of 5 years, you have to show that you've been physically present in the US for at least 2.5 of those years. You also have to demonstrate good moral character. DUIs is a really good example. Somebody that has 2 DUIs is unable to demonstrate good moral character, which means if you submit an application, again, USCIS is likely to deny that application. So you need to make sure that you check the requirements and that you are eligible. If you have a certain criminal history, I would say discuss it with an experienced immigration attorney to make sure that you are eligible to apply. In terms of processing times and fees, the processing times basically vary based on the location of where you're living at the time. Dallas, which is where our current office is, there's currently a wait time of 16.5 months. That's a pretty long wait time. When I applied, that picture of the two beautiful people, that's my wife and I. I think when we applied, it was about a 7 to 8 month wait time. So 16.5 months is a long time. In terms of filing fees, there's a $640 filing fee plus an $85 biometric fee, unless you don't have to pay the biometric fee. So for example, if you're 75 and older, the biometric fee does not apply. But in the majority of cases, it will be $725 in total. You can file it either by mail or you can file it online. The benefit of filing it online is that you immediately get a receipt number. So rather than having to wait a couple of weeks, an online filing is most definitely recommended. So thank you for listening. We do have an article on our website. If you go to www.patellegal.com, I discuss the naturalization process in a little bit more detail. If you have questions, you can always email me at cprescott@patellegal.com. Thank you very much.